It's your boy, Bitcoin Birch, coming to you from Bravado HQ.
Hello.
Hello, is this Sir Cap'n?
This is Sir Cap'n.
Yes. CC. Sir Cap'n, hey, scoot on in. Guys, we are live. We are going to start getting tens of thousands of viewers any minute now. As soon as I put this on the internet and tell everybody about it. And we're going to talk Bitcoin, shitcoins, market, and other things. Let's give some people a chance to get in here. And we will rock and we will roll and we will have a great fucking time.
That's what it's all about.
How you doing, Cap? Tell us about your day.
Good. So I had the first day of work today.
Ooh,
wait, that shit sucked. What's that?
This isn't work?
Well, this is not the first day of this work. Also, this is more fun than work because I just get to talk about shit with Birch. That's fun.
What's real work?
Mechanical engineering.
Oh, you're at GT, aren't you?
Yeah. So I'm designing a new lawnmower right now.
He's designing a lawnmower, everybody.
Is it on the blockchain?
I'm gonna put it there. It's gonna be.
Dude, I need to get this chat open so I can talk to our friends.
Grass coin.
Grass.
Sounds like a weed coin. I don't know.
Yeah. We need more weed coins.
I don't think we need more weed coins.
I don't think we need more weed coins.
It sounds like a weed coin. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. This is weird because it's like.
All right. Yeah, we're not going to see that, though.
You got to mute that.
Yeah, it's already muted. This is not my first rodeo. It's my third, so don't get it twisted. All right, we're going to get some more links out there, everyone. Stay tuned. Tell your friends because we're going to blow your mind with some just crazy analysis tonight. We're gonna do some bragging on our Bitcoin calls recently because we've been crushing the margin game, and we're also gonna talk shitcoins. So stay tuned. Tell your friends. Count your blessings, and make sure to chat with us over here.
Mad shitcoins.
Marlon, what's going on? Sam, Aries Trading, what's good? Say hello, and don't forget to smash that like button. As you guys know, it tells the algorithms that we have really great content, and people are asking for the link. Here we go. And we are here.
Pump it.
Where you posted?
Twitter, bro. And Discord.
I was looking for the Discord channel. I got it in Discord though.
You ever do it on Telegram?
So give us another 5 minutes. Not yet.
No.
Easing up to that. We're easing up to that.
Easing into it.
Yeah. So give us another 5 minutes, and then we're gonna do a solid 40-minute stream. BC, this is Biggie, not Eminem.
Yeah.
What's up, Fingerprint? I love you guys. Happy to see you all. We're just shilling the link out there so we can get some folks in here to ask questions and to join us on tonight's live stream. We figured we'd do a nightly stream just to give you guys an opportunity to join that unfortunately are not able to during the day. So hopefully we're able to accomplish that goal. I'm going to close these because you got way too much reflection. Here we are. Boom. Now we cooking with gas. 29 people in here. It's a damn near record. So
I need a name tag.
Yeah.
People are just gonna be like, "Who the fuck is?"
Well, I'm gonna give you an intro any second now. Hey, Coinage, are you gonna throw that tweet out there?
I did throw a tweet out there.
All right.
You just gotta get on the notification. I don't know why you don't have notifications turned on for me. Honestly, I'm offended.
Another one.
I actually deleted crypto Twitter earlier today. So.
Oh.
All of it.
All of it.
All the Twitters.
All right. Links are out there. So we are going to rock and roll. We're going to start by talking Bitcoin. Coinage, share your screen so that way when you talk, we don't see that little blue guy and we can see some shitcoin chart.
Oh, yeah. Let me prepare with a XBT chart. You know what I'm saying?
XBT chart. So quick intro for everybody. I'm Bitcoin Birch coming to you live from Bravado HQ. And with me today, I have the notorious BTC. And go ahead and introduce yourself. Say what's up to the people.
Notorious BTC here. What's up to the people? Let's talk
newest Bravado analyst.
Newest Bravado analyst. Happy to be here.
And then as you guys know all too well, we have our friend Cap'n Coinage on with us today. He is
what's up, dude?
It's your boy. And thank you, Cap, for being here. So like I said, we're gonna do 35 minutes tonight. And mostly we want to spend half that time answering your questions for those of you who have them. And we will talk shitcoins and Bitcoin as well. Coinage, while we're doing this, throw up a TRX chart because I want to see that too.
Oh yeah.
I'm bag holding a little bit of TRX from an entry I took a while ago and just kind of still holding it. So I'd like to see a chart.
Post mainnet launch.
Oh, so Cal, thank you for being here, my friend. Very, very glad to have you. Thank you for hopping in.
What's up, my guy?
That was the man.
He's the man. He's one of the coolest dudes.
I hear that SoCal plays Fortnite too, so.
See, Captain thinks he's good at Fortnite. He's not that good. Hey, we learned an interesting fact for you guys who are hopping in. Tell them about what you learned about bourbon today.
Yeah, so bullet bourbon, 2 ounces, 40 grams of protein, no carbs, 7 grams of fat. It's good for you.
You know what that means? That's keto friendly, guys.
Have a glass.
That's keto friendly.
Cheers,
so
everyone.
Have a glass of 40 grams of protein right here. Anytime you leave the gym, just slam a few of these. No carbs in you, all protein, all muscle, all day. All right, Coinagene, we got some people in here. Let's hop into the business. Dude, I'm terrible at Fortnite. Coinagene carries me every time, and we still don't win because he's trash too. Let's talk business. I want to get this guy and Coinagene's opinion on Bitcoin. Coinagene, show us what we're looking at right now.
Are we looking at TRX or Bitcoin?
Oh, let's take a quick look at TRX. My bad. Let's take a quick look at TRX just for the guys out there.
All right, so just some flash technical analysis. I'll walk you guys through this. So I'm just drawing in some trend supports and resistances. I see this bottom is a support right now, which means that somewhere around this area, if you were wanting to enter, you could probably get a solid entry somewhere, below 70, around 78 to 74. And you could hope for a target of around 93, which is a solid 15-20% there. And if we see a breakout of this resistance, obviously this might be a little bit of a stretch, but I like it because it fits well with this resistance here. So obviously I think there's some kind of pennant forming here. Another thing that you could possibly draw would be this kind of big ass cup and handle. So if this is your cup, your handle would be, like this. Now, what I don't know about is, maybe this was a failed cup and handle because we came up here and bounced off of this resistance. But it's also possible, it is not invalid to see cup and handle patterns that. Whoops, let me drag this just out of the thing. If you have your cup, and then the handle can actually be a pennant, right? So this could be your handle, and then you see a breakout of this pennant, and that's, the breakout you're looking for. So this is not necessarily an invalid cup and handle yet. We're just waiting to see how it plays out. Either way, I think a buy around 78 to 74 is solid for a nice swing trade up to around 90. So
now,
yeah.
Does that look like every other big cap alt chart right now? I mean,
no, I don't think that this is.
Trex had that crazy pump. I mean,
and people got excited about mainnet. So yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, I like Trex here as well, and that's not something you hear us say a whole lot, but I'm definitely a fan. So pull up your Bitcoin chart. I'm going to share my screen real quick. We're going to take a quick looky-loo at the exact same chart that you and I shared when you were live here in Chicago with us, and we're going to jump right in and take a look at what Bitcoin's got going on. And check some of this price action here. And I want to get your opinion. I want to get yours too, Biggie. So let me share my screen, and we'll hop right into that. So if you guys have been following along with Bravado on Telegram, Discord, or following our live streams, the Bitcoin chart hasn't changed much. So quick recap for those of you who are new or just popping on. We've been following this larger symmetrical triangle for a while now. And that's not too unique, especially in the last week or two on crypto Twitter. I don't know about you, Biggie, but it's pretty much everywhere. It's become a bit of a meme at this point. That's because we're trendsetters, though we're definitely not the first people to point it out. That's for sure. What we have here is we have a, excuse me, we have a bearish symmetrical triangle. And that's because it's coming in from this downtrend, bouncing into the symmetrical triangle. And what you would expect to see happen if this confirms is we see some rejection around the 8,800 level, and then we break south, and who knows where we go from there. Most people are calling for like a triple bottom scenario around 6K. But there's a lot of other ways to look at this. I shared a nice shit post the other day on Twitter where we just look at a giant bull flag. We're looking at the fact that Bitcoin is actually just in this huge bull flag. The whole thing is a joke. The bear market was just pretend. This is nothing more than a small correction before we moon again. And I think there's a lot that we can say about that. So that's really, really interesting as well. And then the third perspective I see, and I'm using a trackpad, so bear with me on the chart here. Stupid Mac trackpad. But the other thing that I'm looking at here is a larger bullish symmetrical triangle if you go back and include this previous touchdown here. So this makes it a bullish symmetrical triangle because it's formed from the uptrend, and then we could see a breakout north. So what have we been doing? We have been playing the short since pretty much 83. That's been shared across our multiple different platforms. And we were originally looking for a bounce in the 7,800 area, pretty much because that's where we saw this previous support. That's where we saw it bounce before in that 7,800 range. We did actually catch a small bounce. It didn't hold. We got blown out of that position and got out and caught a new long at the bottom of the symmetrical triangle. My personal long was around 71.16, I believe. And then we actually closed that long as we reapproached this resistance here, which ended up being beautifully drawn resistance. Call it what it is. TA doesn't work, but this ended up being a really nice short opportunity. And then this morning we smoked that long again. So right now what I'm seeing is higher lows. I'm seeing it's very, very hard to be bullish. So that's kind of what I'll say about it. I'm more interested in your opinion, Big. How are you feeling about Bitcoin's price action right now?
I've heard so much about this June 6th turnaround, the 6th of every month.
Let's talk about that. What does that mean?
I mean, I think since December, if I'm not mistaken, Bitcoin has basically turned around at the 6th of every month. So like 27 30-day cycles.
Yep.
And
so what we're saying is that this is basically what we're looking at is this was the 6th right here.
Yeah.
And we're looking at the 6th right here. And we're looking at the 6th right here. And then obviously tomorrow is the 6th. So it bounced a little bit sooner, but that's what we're talking about, right?
Like, with that being said,
this is
having seen it so many times already, and you can't have missed it if you've been on crypto Twitter in the last 2 weeks. It almost seems to me like it's an obvious fake out where everybody's all on board with the same concept.
If everyone thinks it's going to move tomorrow.
It makes it too easy for me to think that it's just actually going to dump. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised to see actually another push up tonight, and then sometime like late morning tomorrow, we get a big dump.
Yeah. So the only problem I have with the uptrend right now that we're in from the end of last month, as much as I love to see it, is that we've still had this declining volume, right? And when you have a declining volume with an increasing price action, it's difficult to support the price. But it remains to be seen. There is a lot of bullish sentiment. Cap, what do you think? What are we looking at on your end on the Bitcoin price action?
So I have this trend line here drawn back from July, going nearly a year now. And we've been kind of messing around with it, faking some people out, some stop runs, but it's been holding pretty well. And I'm confident. Well, I'm not say I'm confident. But I believe that this can hold. I think that we'll find out actually very soon, within the next week or so, whether or not we're going to be more bearish long term, or things will look up for another month or so, just because we see this pretty strong resistance turn support, turns resistance, blah blah blah, at around 7,800. We saw it retest here. You were talking about a long that you caught, and so I think that's the top of the box you might have drawn here. So 7,800. I think that if we can break out past 7,800 again, we have another good chance at retesting this longer term downtrend right here. But that's all going to be determined here, because if we if this holds again and we bounce back below, it'll probably mean that we're going to go back below this trend line seriously, and then that could mean a double bottom, probably, or a triple bottom, somewhere around it's more of a box than a specific price, but somewhere in this area would be a good place for a triple bounce. So.
Yeah, so I think my sentiment hasn't changed at all, and that is if Bitcoin comes below 7K, and specifically if it can't hold up at 6,800, which I saw a lot of people calling for a bounce in the 6,800 area, then for that reason I'm out. I'm going to exit most crypto markets. I'm going to definitely take so right now I'm still about 30% fiat. So I got into about 30% fiat when Bitcoin was 8,400, hedged a little bit, opened up a short, closed the short, since played long, but I haven't got that fiat back in the space yet. What about you guys? You in fiat right now?
Nope.
No fiat. What percentage of alts are you holding, Biggie?
Alts are probably 70%.
All right. What about you, Cap?
Probably alts.
I'm probably actually 80% alts right now.
Gotta one up me.
Yeah.
So Cal, I don't disagree too. I mean, it's wishful thinking. I don't think that the 6 has any core. As traders, we're looking for patterns, right? We're always looking for different reasonings for why things happen. I'm not going to sit here and say whales, manipulation. There's definitely been algo trade, like hella algo trading, more than normal. That's where all these BARTs are coming from that we covered before. But I'm not going to sit here and say there's some larger conspiracy theory, but I would love to see Bitcoin pump on the 6th. Big time tomorrow. I think it would just be so fun to watch. It'd just be great. And I think I speak for everybody that's watching this video for the most part, especially if you're not hedged into fiat. We all want to see Bitcoin pump. So then the question is, what the hell is going to happen to alts, right? So like some of you out there, I've gone through a lot of these cycles. I mean, I've been messing with altcoins since 2016. So I've seen a lot of ups and downs. Right now, there is no doubt in my mind that if Bitcoin pumps like crazy tomorrow or next week or even this month, that alts are going to pump with it. That we're going to see the entire market move together. Bully made a tweet earlier at Crypto Bully. Quick shout out. He made a tweet earlier saying he's still old enough to remember when you see that he's still old enough to remember when there was that inverse correlation when anytime Bitcoin pumped, alts got wrecked. So that's not what we're going to see right now. I'm putting my name on it. I don't think that at all. But if Bitcoin does break bullish above that 9, maybe 10K range and starts to really pump again, you're going to want to hide your kids, hide your wife, and definitely hide your altcoins. So speaking of altcoins, which ones are we looking at? What's your favorite alt?
Before you jump into that, I want to go over a little bit more the TA on BTC, okay. just to clarify something for everyone. Cool. On the right side of this chart, you'll see the volume profile, which I'm sure or maybe you've seen it described to you before, but essentially it's the amount of volume that's been traded at the specific price levels. And so really what I'm looking for is you're either going to bottom probably here or we're going to bottom here at 5,500. And the reason why I say this is because we see this high volume here and then the super low volume in this area, right? So if we go into this area, we're either going to bounce out of it very quickly. You can see here we have only wicks essentially in this trading area. And it will bounce out or it will quickly plunge down to the next area where we have a relatively high volume, which means, likes to be traded there. So this is a good area where we might find support. And you can see that that's actually true over here where we see some kind of support around 5,500. So if we break down past this trend line significantly, I think that we're either going to see 6,500 or we're going to see 5,500. And those are two targets that you can look for to close shorts, enter longs, etc.
Yeah, and you have the longer time frame volume kind of outlined right there as well. You're seeing that increased Bitcoin trading volume with the decreased price. That's never bad to see. That's definitely indication of a potential breakout here soon. I mean, guys, if you're watching this right now, congratulations. In my opinion, you have survived the worst of it, at least the worst of what we're going to see this year. It's been a rough 6 months. I mean, it's been gnarly for all of us, but this is the time to get excited. This is the time to be starting to look at some of your favorite positions, in my opinion. So that's what I've been spending a lot of time doing. That started back at the end of March. I started to heavily get back into the altcoin game. I've taken profits on a number of them, like Poly and Storm, to name a few, OCN. But I'm still
Took
holding.
profits on poly?
I did take I actually put that in our Discord. I sold almost all of my poly.
Probably right after I sold and it jumped another 25%.
Yeah, no, I sold at like 185% profit on that. That was juice.
Nice.
Someone asked about KuCoin coins. My favorite KuCoin coin. I'll start. It is Daddy. You guys remember the plagiarized ICO?
People don't forget.
You guys remember when they plagiarized their white paper and everybody was shilling the Daddy ICO? Now, I would like to point out, I didn't shill the Daddy ICO. Bravado didn't shill the Daddy ICO. Not because we thought their white paper was plagiarized. We just didn't do it. But their white paper allegedly was plagiarized, or whoever wrote it, or a part. It wasn't the entire thing. I think it was actually a tech spec that they had basically stolen. Nevertheless, it's 40% below ICO price right now. It's $15 million market cap. It's completely bottomed out. It's actually just today bounced off of a 2-month trend line after getting listed on Bitfinex like 5 days ago or something. It pumped, dumped back down to this nice trend line. Daddy had a lot of hype behind it. I know they have some pretty big partners. I know that they had a lot, like I said, they had a lot of hype. And so right now, my favorite KuCoin coin is Daddy, DADI, and that's going to be one that I'm going to hold here probably midterm. And yes, I am in QLC. We did a QLC interview. Check the Bravado YouTube page to watch that. QLC is a moon bag for me as well. But I'll probably swing trade it if it, depending on what the market does.
So, as far as KuCoin bags, I don't actually have much to add on KuCoin because I haven't.
Want to talk about OCN? Are you a big OCN guy? I don't remember.
I like OCN. I have a nice Flash Fundamental video out about OCN. You can check that out on YouTube if you just search Flash Fundamentals OCN. And I think that, despite what a lot of people are saying, I think that the project has a lot going for it fundamentally. So if you're
Pisper is just running right now.
If you're going to look at KuCoin coins, it's definitely a solid blue chippy type. It is actually relatively low cap, so it might not even be blue chip yet, but there's definitely a lot of hype around it. That could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. That's to be determined.
Which one did you say? I was too busy shit posting.
OCN?
Oh, OCN, yeah.
Yeah, I was saying about OCN.
I
do have other shit coins on other exchanges. But.
Someone asked about now that David Grockstein or whatever is gone, are we back in it? Yeah, because I basically went on Twitter and I said, I'm out of OCN after that, and I meant it, and I bailed, and then they fired the dude, and I thought that was awesome. And then, I started talking to them about being an advisor. So I don't know, guys. Maybe I'll, maybe we'll see. But I don't own. I think I have a small bag of OCN, just like basically dust. So I think I might look to take some positions, though. I think it's going to be a nice hype coin. I think it'll be a coin that can hit 1,000 sat, no doubt.
I mean, if there's one thing that they're good at, it's hype.
They know how to hype, but they hyped it too much. That was the problem. That was where they needed.
They just watched the airdrop announcement. Like they
we're gonna airdrop
like a whole string of things over like a course of a week, and like I bailed on my entire initial position. Fortunately, I was like just over 2x, so I still have a decent sized bag. But
when they come out and they're like
get some momentum again,
we've been hyping up this airdrop. It's gonna be great, and it's in August.
Clarification, and like
wrecked.
Everyone was just like.
Absolutely wrecked.
One thing I'd like to touch on about what you're saying about the ICOs, and recent ones. Also, I'm echoing right now, and it's bothering me.
I'll turn my volume down.
Is that just because some of these projects are trading below ICO price does not mean that they're necessarily a good buy. I think that if you go on ICO drops and you look at a bunch of these, you'll find that a lot of these are actually trading below ICO price. And I think
like 80%.
Yeah. I mean, look, Big Bomb, huge hype around that, 0.75. Even after they announced that they were buying back like 1,000 ETH worth of their token with such a small market cap, it did a big run, but then it, corrected again. I think that the reason that a lot of these are trading below ICO price is because, people kind of realize that a lot of these ICOs suck. A lot of the times they don't.
And then everyone got wrecked.
Yeah, it just shows that there's no really demand for them, which means that it's, it might not be the best idea to be putting your money into some of these things.
Yep.
You should be looking for projects that are more fundamentally sound than some of these new unproven technologies. And there's a lot of coins out there that have things that are seriously working. Unless you're super into crypto Twitter and looking on Bitcoin Talk and Telegram all the time, you're gonna have a hard time finding a lot of these short-term low cap plays. And I think that just investing in an ICO because it's trading below its ICO price, that's not a good idea.
No, I totally agree. And like you said, 80% of them, I think, are trading below ICO price right now. So yeah, you're totally right. It doesn't necessarily make it a great buy because so many of them are in that position. In this particular case, there's a little bit more fundamentals behind Daddy specifically. So if I'm going to add to my shill, I'll remind you that the mainnet is launching at the end of this month, and as a fundamental trade catalyst, that's always really, really strong. And they are actually partnered with some pretty big names, including Virgin. And my understanding of it is that it's a real partnership, from what I found as well. So that's just one that I like. But what are your IDEX gems? I don't ever mess around on IDEX anymore. So
nope.
It's just like Cap is saying, like most of the Charter's heavily shilled too.
So actually, there's one on IDEX I really like, which is PAL. And I believe that, so one of my colleagues, I believe, is interviewing the CEO of PAL. And once he interviews her, we'll be putting together a Flash Fundamentals video about it. I like it very much, and I'm sure you'll see more of it in the future. But that's pretty much the only IDEX coin I'm looking at. However, there is one other coin PAL. There is one other coin I'm very interested in that is not on IDEX right now. I think it's, well, on Coinigy tells me it's on Livecoin and CSEX, or however I said sex, however you pronounce that, and that's Dig.
Dig, I've heard you talk about Dig before.
Yeah, so Dig, I actually have a Flash Fundamentals coming out on Dig on Thursday. So you guys will get more information about Dig. But it's been doing extremely well recently because it's been proven that it's not a scam. And I think that a lot of people were worried about that at the beginning. But it's a pretty typical precious metal backed currency. And so really what they're doing is they're buying physical bullion with 50% of their earnings. And then every, I forget whatever the period is, but every so often, 15% of their profits goes to buying back their coins, and 20% of it goes to buying mining rigs, which, the profits from those mining rigs goes to the rest of these things. And so really it's just this, like they're growing, they're doing this whole gold backed, there's a couple other, I think it's gold, platinum, palladium, and one other. And they're doing it legit. They just bought, you can see here, this 100,000 square foot industrial compound in Ontario, 95 megawatts of power. It's absolutely massive.
What's the token economics on it? I mean,
so the token economics, the total supply here. Oh, by the way, I want to give full credit. One of my good friends in the dojo, or two of them actually, Shulman and Zavi, wrote up this awesome write-up about it. But so the market cap right now is super low, especially because the value of the coins is much lower than the price of the gold they represent right now, which is fundamentally solid in just the fact that, it's actually undervalued based on the assets it's backed by. So it's a pretty safe investment in terms of that. The tokenomics are great, especially considering their buybacks. Right, the total supply is 3 billion, and circulating is 1.2 billion. And I think that for the rest of the tokens to actually fully be circulated, it's going to take a very long time. And none of them will actually all be circulated because they're doing this buyback and burn.
So, I mean, is this just a token? I mean, it's like a derivative. I mean,
yeah. It's like a derivative, but it's just severely undervalued right now.
So that's a nice transition. So thanks for sharing that. I mean, that's actually one that I remember you mentioning briefly before, and it's that definitely is an article I'll look to read later on this evening. But you know, we hear a lot of times people start to try to think of where the cryptocurrency market cap is going to go, right? And just the market in general. It's a $350 billion asset class. And the first thing that I hear a lot of people start to do is compare it to the stock market, right?
Yeah.
And the stock market globally is worth about $80 trillion. Don't quote me on it. I think it's around that range, right? So we're looking at $80 trillion stock market, $350 billion crypto market. I'm not really of the belief that we're going to see tons of tokenized securities. I think that security tokens are going to have their time. I think security tokens will be important and definitely exist, but it's not going to be security tokens that take this market to the next level. In my opinion, it's going to be almost like tokenized derivatives, because people don't love tokenizing securities and owning stock in something as much as they love betting. And the derivatives market globally is $1,200 trillion, which is right around $1.2 quadrillion. And that's something that absolutely can be disrupted by tokenization in general. It doesn't necessarily make it it doesn't necessarily have to be on the blockchain, but what we're talking about is just complete tokenized derivatives of every different currencies, stocks, precious metals, etc. So that's just a nice transition what you just shared there, and I think that we're probably going to see a lot more of that. We're going to see a lot more like backed tokens and tokens that are backed by different underlying assets that have value, right?
Absolutely.
Is McAfee doing one?
Is McAfee? So McAfee's printing money.
Stay away from it.
McAfee's printing money right now. You guys
doing some weird bullshit where it's like the tokens are backed by time that you can spend with him or something. I don't like, you can redeem your tokens. Each token is like 15 minutes of his time.
That's phenomenal.
It's fucking weird.
God bless America, even though he's not here. That's just wonderful.
He just announced his presidential bid.
Good.
So, yeah, Nighthawks, thanks for the question about EOS. It's probably relevant because I actually did a survey at one point of our community, and EOS was the most bag held coin basically, and it's one that we never discussed. Like EOS has never been like a big one in it's not that there's anything wrong with EOS. It's just that, especially for like shorter term trade setups or midterm trade setups, it's just never been a huge fan. So it was on a tear, and then it got wrecked, right? I mean, it basically, I think it hit $20 before turning around and getting, are my numbers off?
I think it pulled back, but now I think it's back on the move a little bit.
Yeah. So Kat, you want to pull up the chart on EOS? I'm actually curious as well, because last I checked, it got destroyed. And so with mainnet coming up with a successful launch of mainnet, especially considering the sell-off that happened, EOS might be a good play. Like out of the big coins, my two favorite plays right now are TRX and Neo. So Neo, I think, is 11 in market cap, and Neo and gas, I'm loading up.
Where's Metal? That's my favorite.
Metal is the coin that has let everyone down.
I'm trading the Metal range for the rest of
when Lambo, though, I mean, Cap, if you can pull up that EOS chart, Tel is we were huge fans of Tel. That's a long-term hold. And so, yeah, it hasn't moved. Thankfully, it hasn't really gotten wrecked either. But Tel, especially Serial Schiller, Tony Crypto, some of the core guys here at Bravado, big fans of Tel as a longer moon bag. You guys know I'm a little bit more of a swing hodler. I'm trying to coin the phrase swing hodler. So that's what I'm getting into. And for Tel is not a swing hodl for me. So that is not true. That is not true. Listen, you got to remember that this dude was anonymous when we hired him.
I'm Crypto Biggie.
He's Crypto Biggie. I could only make the assumption, and then I was just as disappointed as you guys are. So, I apologize for that. Let's take a look at EOS, Cap.
Yeah. So I haven't really put much thought into this recently, so I'm kind of pulling up my normal suite of indicators. What is it? This is 30. What is it? 20, 60, 120, 30?
Yes.
20, 60.
Unless you're, I mean, there's a lot of people who like to keep the 4x settings. They make good 4x settings.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really telling us much right now. So a little bit of a bearish cross right here. I wouldn't say that right now it's a great buy. I'm just looking at the price action right now for the most part. That's normally what I'd like to trade off of. You know, you could possibly throw in some kind of Elliott wave where you're looking at a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you would have a fifth wave somewhere up here. But that fifth wave can be any number of things, so that's not really a good um, indicator to use in this case.
Did you stick some orders on the 786 there?
So if you were to stick some orders, I would start at the 786 and ladder down to the 618. This clearly acted as a resistance, turned support somewhere in this 13.9 to 13 area. So between 14 and 13 essentially would be a good place to ladder your orders down to from the 786. The 786 doesn't really look like it acted as much of a support or resistance in any significant way. I'm sure that you could find in the shorter term some price. Obviously, that you can see that there's some whipsawing right around here. So, you know, and you can see by the VPVR that this 786 is definitely an important level trading wise. Lots of volume right here.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, if you were to ladder down from here down to the 618, and as you can see, the volume just drops off below the 786. So it would be unlikely that it would stay in this area very long. So if it did fall below 786, it would either bounce back up quickly or quickly plummet down to the 618. So I would say if you were to set orders, it would be from here to here. If you are holding right now, I don't think that it would be worth it to sell because, you know, the risk reward on that is not super high. Rather, you could just lower your dollar cost average if it does dip that low.
Yeah, I wish I would have jumped into that after I saw it getting wrecked. It was on my list of big caps that I should buy soon, and you know, it just didn't happen. I just don't know enough about it. I've never cared. I don't know why. It's just been one of those coins that has just never been on my radar. It's always, I guess, been on my radar, but I've never cared about it. I've never been like, oh, I'm hungry for some EOS. So that's just me, guys. That's just, you can't watch all 2,000 tokens every day. So I pick I just pick the ones that I pick.
Especially the ones that Brock Pierce is the primary figurehead for.
Yeah. Anyone heard of this money token ICO, by the way? It's their whole sales pitch is backed by Roger Ver. It's all over CoinMarketCap. So I'm out.
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah. When swing trading, do you look at BTC before entering a position? I'm basically looking at BTC all day, every day, and I'm not entering positions if I'm bearish on BTC. So
at this point, I think it's just kind of like an instinctual thing I do, where if BTC is, you know, showing some sign that it might hurt alts, I just avoid them out of instinct. I don't know. I don't like actively think about it, but it's definitely something that plays into my trades.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that you can't escape. If you're doing what we're doing, and we're staring, I mean, we have 2 fucking TVs right here that have the charts on them all day long. And so it's in our face. Sometimes I feel like we're too close to the space, right? We can be too micro, which I think gets in the way sometimes. So I'm always evaluating BTC. And if I'm bearish on BTC, I'm bearish on alts, regardless of what the chart says. And I'm also not a huge technical analysis guy. I've studied it. I've traded for a few years now, but I have an issue trading against a volatile asset. Like I understand why technical analysis works when it works, but when Bitcoin, when the technical analysis is against an asset that also has its own technical analysis, it's a bit of a mind fuck for me personally. And so every alt chart that I TA comes with a grain of salt for me. Like when I'm going into it, I'm looking at raw fundamentals. I'm setting time frames. So I'm going into it saying, I don't really think this is going to be one that I want to hold in 3 months, but it's got really great catalysts coming up. Daddy is one of those new ones for me right now that I think could make for a nice swing trade. And so that's usually how I'm playing this game.
I mean, I think you got to remain flexible. Like if you were trading alts 8 months ago, you were actively watching for BTC moves because BTC could instantly wreck your alt position. Yeah. But as we've seen in the last month or two, in particular, that inverse correlation is pretty much disappeared, if not, entirely. Yeah. So, I mean, I think you just have to remain flexible and understand when the market shifts and when that relationship shifts. So I think, I mean, it's all just relative to how it's been trading, in my opinion.
When does BTC lose the #1 spot?
Never.
Really?
Absolutely never.
I disagree. What about you, Cap?
I wish I could give you some certain answer on that, but I'm definitely not a Bitcoin maximalist, so I'm not going to say that it's not possible. I think that it will always have a place in everyone's hearts, but whether or not it stays at the top is up in the air.
It's going to be tough if my derivatives theory plays out in the next 5 years, and derivatives is really the token play, and it's going to be impossible to maintain dominance, in my opinion. But I am more of a Bitcoin maximalist. I've always kind of been that way, but I also hold Bitcoin Cash because I'm not an idiot, and I see the marketing and the amount of money they spend and the amount of new money that they grab. So sometimes you got to put emotions to the side in this game. One of the worst mistakes I ever made, and this is probably something that a lot of you guys out there can relate to, is I used to marry bags, and metal is one of those bags that I married. RIP, Birch's metal bag, which at one point was grossly higher value than it is now. And with when it comes to some of these coins so for like metal, it's payment tech, which I think is one of the top use cases of cryptocurrencies. Payment tech. It's backed by awesome people, smart people, connected people. Richard Branson, one of the richest people in the world, is an example. It has a working product. They have users. They have certain licenses in place. It ticks all the bells, and it just gets wrecked every day. So it just never stops getting wrecked. And so you can't marry these bags sometimes.
Well, I think it's just because Monaco is better than Pay. It's just the way it is. Not to flood your bags more.
Those are fighting words, Coinigy.
Yeah. I mean, I've already accepted that metal is going to go to zero, and I'm just going to bag hold it to the end. So when that doesn't happen, because that probably won't happen, I think metal's actually really, really strong and well funded. I'll have my day.
I've just been range trading it like for the last couple of weeks.
It's been a nice coin to range
close to the
too.
bottom of the range that I've been buying at. So I picked up a little bit more today, and I'll get rid of it after 10-15% and just continue to do that. Because I mean, like, there's literally no other bag that likes to disappoint like metal. So anytime I get 20-15% on it, I'm happy to sell it because I know in a week I'll be able to buy it back again, where I originally bought it.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree. What's your favorite right now out there in general? What's your favorite bag for the people? One that they haven't heard, so not Edgeless or Zcoin, because hey guys, let me get the quick shilling for Edgeless.
Edgeless is killing me.
Listen, it's not. See, it's kind of pretty much chilling right around my average entry. Well, but it's killing me because it's just moving sideways. But let me tell you guys, you're gonna come back and remember this conversation that Birch had with you guys about Edgeless. What's your favorite bag right now?
I've been getting more bullish on Lux recently. I know in the past it's been heavily shilled and it's all kind of died down. And
all right.
So I've been liking it.
Rumors are out there about Lux.
It's down 50% from its high recently, so it's definitely not a bad pickup right now.
I heard some rumors out there right now that I don't mean to tease you guys. I can't share it right now because it was from a pretty decent source.
John McAfee himself.
It wasn't McAfee, but I don't want to get caught up in any stuff, in any like bullshit about Lux. But the rumors were positive. I don't hold any Lux. I don't know that I might buy some, but maybe I don't know. We'll see. But Lux has been one of those coins that I don't know if you have someone like, are they on any real exchange yet? I don't think they're on any real exchange yet. You have someone like McAfee, who's an advisor allegedly, or isn't an advisor, but is. You have tons of power behind the dev team. They're gonna be one of those coins that continues to do things to stay in the eye from a marketing standpoint, and they're pretty low valued for a coin as well known as Lux. Like Lux is a much more well known coin than Republic, and everybody knows what Lux is, and nobody knows what Ren is.
You seen the cost of one of their masternodes? It's like one of the top 5.
Oh yeah. It costs like $20,000 or something, or maybe more. Yeah, for a masternode.
There you go.
So
and
if
yeah,
it does
that's
blow up at some point, those masternode holders are going to be
So if you're an investor, and most of you probably are, Lux is probably a decent play. I'm not sure what the RR is on it right now. I haven't done a proper analysis, but it's a pretty good play. Yeah, so Apollo Neo, Nexo is primo. We're going to have to hop off here in about 3 minutes, but because I'm actually doing my second podcast with Crypto Street Pod, your boys Crypto Dale, Killer Whale, and Prince. Shout out for having me on again. I'm sure the episode will air next week.
Waiting for my invite as well.
I'll let them know that you are around. I'll let them know. I'm just trying to have my time right now. But I'm going to be talking about Nexo on the podcast. I'm excited about Nexo, so stay tuned for that as well. Elastos it's probably one of my 5. It's probably one of 5 bags, and another one of those 5 is Dragon, and another one of those 5 is KMD. So that's 3 out of the 5. You can guess the other 2 that I hope I'm holding in like 2020, no doubt about it. Elastos is one of those coins that we'll have to do a separate talk. We're going to do an analysis on it, but Elastos is one of those babies. Is that an Elastos chart, or what do you got going on there, Cap?
So right now I'm looking at Lux.
Oh, Lux.
Just we see this as a clear trend support line here. We just bounced off of it. If you could catch it down here below 80, that would be awesome. But it's definitely looking like it's on track for a solid recovery here. So
wow, yeah, actually, Lux
nice exchange listing would be about the perfect catalyst at this point.
Yeah. Where's the largest volume exchange that they're on right now?
Cryptopia.
Yeah. That's trash.
I live on Topia. I love Topia.
So we might do another live stream tomorrow during the day. Biggie is in town for a couple of days. We'll continue to try to do this stuff and hopefully be able to answer your guys' questions. A little bit out of it right now, just with everything that's going on with the 3 of us here. But we wanted to give you guys an opportunity to ask some questions. So hopefully you've had that opportunity. But do me a favor, if you don't mind, and smash that like button, because it makes me feel better, as I've told you before. And I really appreciate it. We're going to continue to do this. We'll continue to put out the analysis. Our Bitcoin TA, what can I say about it? It's just been absolutely crush on point. We've made a ton of money margin trading this last couple of weeks on Bitcoin. So hopefully we can keep it up. As a final thought, I'm curious from the 2 of you, Bitcoin up or down next 24 hours for those who want to know. We sat at that resistance. We're fighting to get through that resistance. We've been heavy long since 7,100. What are you, up or down?
Up.
What are you, Coinigy?
I'm looking at a chart right now. I got to look at a shorter term chart. Give me a 15-minute chart. Let me look at this.
I mean, 24 hours today is the price.
Yeah, I'm looking at a 15-minute chart. Is
the price higher 24 hours from right now?
The price is, we're at this resistance right here. We'll either bar it up to 7,800 or bar it right down. God, it's right in the middle. It's going to go down in the next 24 hours.
You heard it here first. All right, well, the tiebreaker is me, and I don't give a shit about your chart. The sentiment is bullish, and we are taking this to 8,500. I'm holding my swing hodl from 71. Well, actually, I closed it at like 78. But I'm going to reopen it, and we're going to go to 85, and then we can talk about crashing from there.
85.
Everybody, hope you got – hey, you heard it here first. Piffs, give Coinigy a break. He's the man, the myth, the legend. He crushes charts out here, and he also put Ren Protocol on my list, and I've made a ton of money as a result. So I'm forever grateful to you, Coinigy, for hopping on again. Thank you, as always, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next couple days doing it. Crypto Biggie. Your handle for the people?
Thanks for having me on. At Crypto Biggie.
No, aren't you at Notorious BTC?
No, you're Notorious BTC.
Oh, it's the name. It's at Crypto Biggie. Yeah. You guys know I'm your boy Bitcoin Birch here at Bravado HQ, and as always, I appreciate you coming here and hanging out. Not financial advice, all that good stuff. And in all seriousness, we will holla at you soon. Be easy, people.
Peace. Later.